Hi there! Welcome back to Dolls Amok. Today I have an unboxing video for you. Today I'm going to be unboxing Girl of the Year 2020 Joss Kendrick. I actually have a funny story about this. So I bought Joss back during her year and I kind of waited a while because I wasn't sure I liked the Joss mold initially, and I did finally get her and I just didn't really connect with her character at all. I really wanted to because I'm born and raised in California, so I kind of liked that they did the whole California beach girl. I love the beach. I grew up going to the beach. I grew up near the coast. So I was kind of intrigued by that. But I just didn't really connect to her character. I didn't connect with the doll. She was fine. I ended up selling that Joss doll to another collector who was looking for a pristine, basically new out of the box doll. And that collector didn't need her meat outfit. So I just sold her the doll nude with her box and book. So all of these years since, I've had her meat outfit and no doll to go with it. And I put it in my bag of American Girl clothing and accessories to sell and kind of forgot about it. Well, recently when I was going through my doll things and organizing my doll closet, I discovered it. Just brought it back out and put it with my other doll outfits because it's actually really cute. Well, just the other day, call me crazy, but I suddenly started reminiscing about Joss and her year, and I'm not sure why, but I suddenly just felt like a lot of nostalgia for that year. It was kind of a big deal on American Girl's part because they had modeled her after one of our top women's surfing prospects. You know, then after all that, the Summer Olympics didn't happen until the following summer. And anyway, I just felt really nostalgic about this and started thinking about her, and maybe it's the warmer weather and the fact that summer is approaching, but I suddenly just kind of felt intrigued by getting Joss again, and I decided to look and see if I could find her for a good price. Well, I did. I found one for a very good price on Mercari being sold nude out of a doll hospital box, which is perfect because I already have her meat outfit. So I went ahead and bought her, and she arrived today, and I'm looking forward to sharing her with you. So let's get to it. So let's get her out of the box first, and then we can compare her to my other Joss mold dolls. I brought my other 4 dolls out that all have the same mold. Of course, the Joss mold debuted with Joss herself, which is why it's named after her. These are all Truly Me's. 3 of them are customs based on Truly Me 21, and this is Truly Me 122. Those dolls debuted as part of the Truly Me revamp in the fall of 2022. And I forgot to mention I also have Joss's hearing aid because this other collector didn't need her hearing aid set. So I have her complete meat outfit and her hearing aid set, which is really fun. So she's going to be all set. So let's get her out of the box. Here's the hospital box. Nice, safe bubble wrap. There it is. Alright, let's take her out and see what she's like. And then, like I said, we'll set up the camera for a better comparison between her and my other Joss mold dolls. There she is. Oh my gosh, don't you love seeing dolls all fresh and perfect in their boxes? There she is. Look at that. I forgot how pretty and highlighted her hair is. So cute. So one of the reasons I was kind of missing the original Joss is the eyebrows. Remember when the Truly Me line was revamped in 2022, they redid the eyebrows on all the dolls. And this old style eyebrow, this old style eyebrow with this simple brush that has been around, oh gosh, since like the early 2010s, I want to say, was retired, except in the Create Your Own line. In the Create Your Own line, those are still the normal stock eyebrows, but I kind of was missing that. I just feel like it's lighter and a little more youthful, a little fresher. And so it's really fun to see those old eyebrows again. She's a super sweet one. She's super cute. Oh, it's so fun. Love it. She looks so fresh. So I don't know what she was sent to the hospital for. I don't know if it was a new body, new head. Let's see if we can find out by opening her up. So it's nice. These hospital boxes, they actually use rubber bands like the old days. I really miss that. It made it so easy to repackage dolls to sell. The new zip ties, plastic ties they use are just not my favorite. Go. I love that she has her hairnet on. I'm kind of guessing that she was sent to the hospital for a new head just because she has her hairnet on, but I could be wrong, so I'm going to move the box here. Go, get that out of the way. Okay. So she comes with her little certificate of good health and her little booklet from the doll hospital. I probably will not keep that, but here we go. So, can you see her? There she is, out of her box, looking adorable. So I just wasn't sure because it's been 5 years since her year, and I really didn't have her long before I realized I wasn't connecting with her and decided to sell her. I haven't seen an original Joss in quite a while, so I was just really curious to see her again. She's so cute, super cute. So it's really interesting just visually comparing her with my other dolls, my other Joss mold dolls here. Look at that, her hair all beautifully swirly in her hairnet. I know that Joss's wig was very sleek and on the thinner side. It kind of had a nice flat, sleek look. I love that she still has her hairnet on and her original hairstyle. That's really exciting because it's almost like getting a brand new doll. So pretty. So I feel like this particular Joss has very like almond shaped eyes. The Joss mold really varies, as all their molds do. And I feel like hers, do you see that, are very like almost rectangular, like they're a little flatter on the bottom. We'll do some comparisons in a minute, but oh my gosh, so cute. So adorable. Well, let's just get her dressed in her original meet outfit, shall we? Her sandals. The sandals were to me the least successful part of the meat outfit. They're just like very, very cheap, very plasticky, not American Girl's usual standard. But for completeness sake, we'll use them. This might be the last time I use them on her. Oh wow, that's like really tight. I don't know if they're supposed to be stretchy, but that's like really tight. I don't usually have trouble getting doll shoes on, but good luck to the children who were fighting with these sandals. What is with that? So she actually has scrapes on her heel there, and I think that's why. It's because these are so tight. I'm gonna like break a nail trying to get that on her heel. So you know what? I'm not sure it's worth it. I kind of want to just so I can see her as she would have arrived. But wow, that does not want to go over her feet. And it's just going to scrape her heel. So I'm not going to fight with it. No purpose to fight with it. I'm just going to set those aside. That was not a good design on their part. I don't usually have any trouble putting on doll shoes. So there she is. You see that in her original outfit. And again, here is her hearing aid. I set aside all carefully with her little instruction book. So I have that. So there she is, and of course The moment of truth. I love it when their hair is all perfect in the hairnet. So pretty. But we should release her hair so she can be completely free. So let's do that this way. Oh, it's kind of a tight one. There we go. There's her hairnet off. And there's her beautiful brown hair. Very layered, very sleek. I do remember liking the hair. So pretty. It's actually very similar in the layered cut to some of the older Truly Me dolls, like Truly Me 29, Truly Me 20, is it 27? 27 and 29, and later 65, although 65 didn't have that sort of slight swoop. 65 was pretty straight. But look at that, how pretty and how cute is she? Oh my gosh, so adorable. One of the other reasons I wanted Joss again was I was missing having a light-skinned doll with brown eyes and brown hair. I know that sounds crazy when I have like 34, now 35 dolls in my active collection, but I don't actually have any light skin tone dolls with brown hair and brown eyes, and to me that's just a terrible omission, so I really needed to fix that. And she is a wonderful brown-eyed girl. So here she is. Look how adorable she is. She's just so cute. I am already connecting with her so much more than I did her year. Isn't that funny how things turn out? I'm not sure why that is, but there you are. That's the fun of doll collecting. Isn't she adorable? So I am going to set her up here for some comparisons and be right back with you. All right, here we go, comparison time. So this is Truly Me 122 and Joss. And so I would say of the current Truly Me options, 122 is the most similar to Joss. However, you can see with them side by side that they're still pretty different. Joss has, of course, the standard light skin tone. I think it's called skin tone 10. I think that's the number for it. Whereas 122 has the medium. I think it's the slightly darker medium, and I don't remember the designation for that. But you can see that they're not actually the same tone. They both have the beautiful brown eyes, and the eyes, as far as that goes, appear to be the same. Let me see if I can show you the eyebrow difference I was talking about. So again, the Truly Me revamp, they totally redid the face paint on the dolls, all the dolls, even dolls that had never been, molds I should say, that were never available in the Truly Me line before. So up until that point, Joss was unique. It was just Joss. That was the only one who had her mold. And in the fall of 2022, they released, I think it's 2 dolls. Am I forgetting one? I think it's 2 with the Joss mold. It was 122 and 121. And they redid the face paint on all the dolls. Classic, Josefina, Addie, everybody got the painted on lashes. And they also got the slightly more exaggerated, a little bit more thicker, like longer eyebrow styles. The different face molds do have slightly different eyebrows, but I just wanted to point out here that what I was missing was the original kind of brush eyebrow. It's very small, it's very light. To me, it looks a little bit more childlike. The revamped eyebrows are beautiful. They're much longer, they arch more over the eye, and they're a lot thicker. So I am a girl with lots of eyebrows. I have more than enough eyebrows to go around. So I have nothing against them, but to me, it did age up the Truly Me dolls. It just made them look a little older. I feel like it takes children generally a while to develop eyebrows like that. So to me, when they revamped the Truly Me line, all the dolls just looked a little older. Also, with the painted on lashes, they looked a little more made up, and also the lip paint was darkened on several of the molds as well. So here you can see that her lip paint is a shade darker, which makes sense because she has the medium skin tone and it's more of a rose. Joss's is a little bit, it's still, noticeable, but it's a little bit more on the peachy side. Again, Joss has no painted on lashes, and Truly Me 122 comes with the painted lashes, and there's the eyebrow difference. Also, the wig style of, obviously, she has bangs, Joss does not. They both have highlighted hair, and it's very chunky highlights. I would say, though, that Joss's looks a little more natural. To me, I adore this wig, but it looks a little bit more like something you would end up with if you had your hair highlighted, rather than hanging out in the sun like Joss would be surfing and having your hair highlighted by the sun. So let's see if I turn them, if you can see the difference. Can you see those highlights at all? Is the camera picking that up? I feel like it's really noticeable. The highlights on 122 are gorgeous. They're very chunky. They have like these really strong streaks, and this is why for a dark wig it doesn't look entirely natural to me. Joss's is more of a medium brown, very natural brown, and the highlights look to me more like sun streaks. And I'm going to lean them back here, and you can kind of see the tops of the head. And again, my point is that 122 is those super chunky highlights, whereas Joss's is a little bit more just sun-streaked. I love Joss's wig. I love 122's wig as well. Don't get me wrong. I think 122 is an exceptional doll. She was one of my 2 top choices when the Truly Me dolls were revamped. But again, I would say just a little bit less childlike, a little bit more made up looking. I have 3 Joss mold dolls that are customs, that were all made from the same base. So I'm going to compare her to each of those. So this is Reuben. She is a custom 121 made by Copper Cadence. And again, you can see the heavier eyebrow. Now, Copper Cadence did take off her eyelashes. I think she's gorgeous without them. I really like that. And Copper Cadence gave her green eyes in place of her standard brown. And she gave her this beautiful Dallas Doll Company, I think it's called Candlelight, side part, no bangs, kind of ash blonde wig. So obviously gorgeous. She also freckled her, so if you're seeing freckles, that's what you're seeing. But as far as the face shape, just looking at the face shape, let me move them a little bit this way. I would say, let's see if we can get them both looking in the same direction. I feel like Joss has more of that flatter eye socket. Now I know there's a lot of variety doll to doll, even among dolls that are technically identical. So if you looked at all the Joss dolls in the world, there'd be a huge variety in the different faces. I'm not saying that the older Joss mold dolls have the flatter eye shape and the newer ones are more round. I'm just noticing that on this particular doll, on Reuben, I'm seeing a slightly more rounded eye shape. And this is a great comparison because neither of them has the eyelashes. So there you go. I would say the lip color is actually really similar. Copper Cadence did give her some lip gloss, but otherwise it looks like a very similar color. And yeah, there you go. So there's that comparison. This is Lottie, who I made from the same base as Reuben from Truly Me 121 for a character that I had in mind. She's inspired by a book character and named after the book character. And so I gave her a sunburn and freckles. She was only my second fully customized doll that I ever painted, so she's far from perfect, but she's also very dear. And I did give her gray eyes, and I gave her this absolutely stunning, gorgeous Dallas Doll Company wig, which is very chunky highlights and wavy. It's styled right now. I'm not going to take it down. I will show you the back in just a moment. But so I did take the painted eyelashes off, so you can see again. I would say Lottie's eye shape is more round, whereas her eyes are a little more rectangular, a little more flat on the bottom, and eyebrows are very different. And then you can see, of course, Lottie looks painted. She's also a little shiny because at this point I was still trying to seal dolls with matte sealer. I've stopped doing that, but at that point I thought it was important to seal the face paint, so that's why she has a shine. And let's see if we can turn them around here, and you can just see Lottie's hair. Their hair color is actually in a similar family. Lottie's has a lot more red. Again, she's based on a book character, so I was trying to replicate that book character's hair. And you can see it's very wavy, and it's got blonde highlights and this more of a ginger brown. But similar, you know, sun-streaked. Both of them have the similar look. So there are those two girls for you. Now let's compare Joss to Lady Caroline. Again, Reuben is a Copper Cadence creation. Caroline is a Copper Cadence creation. 122 is stock as she would arrive new from the factory, except that I have played with her hair a little bit. And Lottie is my own custom creation. So, and there you have it. So, Caroline also has gray eyes like Lottie. And she, Copper Cadence gave her this amazing, edgy little black bob wig, which I absolutely adore. She did freckle her. She did take off the painted lashes. So again, it's a good comparison. I believe she gave her a little bit more of a pronounced lip color. It looks a little bolder to me, and she gave her lip gloss as well as blush. So that explains the color difference. But you can see they have the same skin tone, and I would say that Caroline's eyes are a little more round, but not as round as Lottie's. They look maybe a little flatter. But again, I feel like these are just a little smaller in the head, the way they're cut into the head, and definitely a little flatter. So there you go. There are my Joss mold dolls. So I'll put Caroline back in the lineup, and there is Joss with her sisters or cousins that have her face mold. So thanks for joining me today. This was really fun to share my new used Joss with you. I'm really excited to have her in my collection again. I feel like I'm really going to connect with her and enjoy her so much more this time around. It seems like I usually enjoy things more after the fact than when they're available. This is just part of my collecting style. When they're available, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm not sure, a little suspicious, a little hesitant, and then sometimes sooner, sometimes later, it takes me a while to come around and decide that they're wonderful and that I want to have them and enjoy them for a while. So I will be thinking of names for her and be having a lot of fun finding summery outfits for her. I do have one Joss outfit. There's another one I want, but has been at a price point on the secondary market that I'm not really willing to spend. If I find one at a good price, I'd love to buy her that outfit as well. But I have quite a few summery, kind of beachy outfits in my collection, so I'll look forward to looking through my collection for those outfits, and I will definitely consider doing a fashion show as I have time of Joss and the outfits that I think will look good on her. So again, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. It's been really fun sharing this with you. I hope that you are enjoying your dolls, playing with your dolls, buying new dolls, collecting dolls, finding doll outfits, whatever it is that brings you joy. I hope you're doing it. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.